I think one of the most telling fantasies a person can have is their dream closet. Not their dream house, not their dream vacation, not even their dream wedding. The dream closet. Because a closet is where the fantasy starts to get specific. It's not just, I want to be rich, which I do. It's, I want built-in shelves. I want warm lighting. I want a center island with jewelry drawers. I want a section for long coats, a section for romantic dresses, and a wall of shoes that says, no, I did not randomly become this person. I've been curating her for a long, long time. And yes, obviously, this is about luxury. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the real dream is minimalism or self-actualization or learning to be happy with one pair of jeans and a capsule wardrobe. Because for me, it's not. The dream is the dream closet. The dream is silk pajamas. The dream is the marble-topped island in the middle. And the dream is having a shoe for every single kind of evening. But I do think the luxury becomes more interesting when you ask what kind of life the wardrobe is built for. Who are the clothes for? What is she like? What rooms are they meant to be entering into? What version of yourself are you making this closet space for? And be real about it. So today, we are talking about my dream closet and my dream wardrobe. Welcome to Rich in Theory, the show where we take our most excessive, beautiful, slightly ridiculous fantasies seriously. Not because they are practical, but because they are revealing. This is where we talk about the lives we would build if money, time, logistics, and common sense were not currently bothering us. Every episode has an accompanying Pinterest board, so if you want to see the actual visual references for the closet, the wardrobe, the shoes, the jewelry, all of it, you can scroll through that while you listen or come back to it after. Think of the board as kind of the visual appendix for the episode. So, today's episode is going to be in two parts. First, I want to walk you through the physical closet itself. The room, the layout, the lighting, the boutique little details. That section is going to be a little shorter just because the closet is like the stage. And at the end of the day, as glamorous and luxurious we're going to be getting today, because we are, it's still a closet. There's only so much you can say about it. Then we are getting into the wardrobe, which is the actual performance. We'll talk everyday clothes, workwear, dresses, shoes, jewelry, loungewear, and the very specific pieces that belong in this fantasy version of my life. But before we can talk about the clothes, we have to enter the room, because the closet itself is the first luxury. So, if you haven't seen an episode of Rich in Theory before, I'm going to talk you through this room as if you were walking through it with me. As I was watching back the last episode, I did realize, I was like, is this borderline ASMR? If you if you want me to talk louder, let me know. I can talk like a normal person, but for me, I would prefer the relaxing. I know some people are probably listening to this to fall asleep. Girl, same. I get it. So yes, let's walk through this closet. First of all, it is attached to the primary bedroom. None of this closet outside of the bedroom nonsense. And it feels more like a private boutique, less like a storage room. Nothing in this closet reads as storage, which unfortunately in our everyday day-to-day lives, that's frequently what the closet is regulated to. There's an arched entrance. There's not even doors on this thing because it's already in my personal space. The lighting shifts when you walk in. It's warm, it's soft, it's flattering. There are sections with bright light, but none of that Kohl's, Ross, TJ Maxx, changing room, humble lighting. We keep that out of the dream closet. The lighting shifts when you walk in, and it really morphs to wherever you are in the closet and makes the pieces that are there look their absolute best. Built-ins are cream. There's a soft bluish gray, but there's also an accompaniment of warm wood. I imagine a lot of the fabric textures are linen. There's brass hardware and glass cabinets, and some of the glass is foggy and not like crystal clear, so you can kind of see the outline of what's behind it, but when you open it, it's still a little bit of a surprise. And the room smells faintly like perfume, clean laundry, and a hint of cedar. I also like to think whatever that scent is, so maybe in this dream scenario we're talking about a fall closet, a winter closet. Frankly, it's big enough for all seasons, and also dream scenario means traveling a lot. We have to have all clothes available at all times. Back on track. But I imagine, like in summer, you have like a white Fiji Sands, Bath and Body Works kind of smell to it, so it changes. But there's always that undertone of clean laundry and freshness. The first visual, like true visual you see when you walk in the room, is the center island. There's a marble top to it, but it's not like the flashy marble that you typically think of when you see like rich space. It's humble, and it's accompanied by those brass features along with like wood, and it brings it back down to earth. When I think about my version of luxury, it's not flashy, and I don't like the all white bright closets that sometimes you can see on Pinterest. Although if you are looking at the board right now, you definitely see some on there. There's only so many really fancy closets, guys. I couldn't get too choosy. There is a jewelry tray on top with yesterday's earrings. Even with all this luxury, I still have the mismatched jewelry tray. It's a staple. You have to have it. But this jewelry tray is really nice. It was got at like a custom art fair or something like that. There's a fresh flower arrangement, maybe from my boyfriend or husband, and a cute little lamp. The closet does not feel like a place where clothes are shoved away. It feels like a place where clothes are displayed, and like everything in the room has earned the right to be seen. Now, for my friends listening at home, I have a couple questions for you. If you have not watched an episode before, I am going to pepper these questions throughout, and I want you to also reflect on your dream closet, because obviously mine's going to be very different from yours. I have rich tastes, I would say. That's why I make this podcast. But for you, what is the first thing that you see when you walk into your dream closet? What's that highlight piece? Is the room bright and airy, or moody and warm? Does it feel like a boutique, a dressing room, or private museum for my more eclectic listeners? What does it smell like? And what is sitting on the island, if you have one? If not, maybe a shelf, a dresser, right now. You can pause the episode if you'd like to answer, or we can just keep going and you can reflect. So once you are inside of my closet, the thing that makes the closet feel truly luxurious is that everything has a place, and not in a sad organizational bin way, in a custom built for my life kind of way. Because it's divided into zones. Everyday clothes are closest to the entrance. Workwear has tailored, structured sections. Dresses get more space and breathing room. Shoes have their own wall. Jewelry and accessories live in the island. loungewear and private clothes are tucked somewhere softer, and there is a vanity mirror moment happening. And here's where it gets interesting. I focused in on the island, but as you're walking through this closet with me, right, you see my everyday clothes. And we'll talk a little bit about what those clothes are in the next section. But you have those, and then you keep walking, and you notice the closet is bigger than it looks originally. And there's kind of this back left section that as you turn, you notice a spiral staircase leading upwards. And you were so taken by the middle of the closet that you didn't notice the balcony that stretches on the outside edge of the second floor of this closet space. Double-decker closet. So cool. And it's a little bigger than it looks. And in this space, you find that vanity mirror moment. Think like the elevated platform with the mirrors when brides go to try on their wedding dress. And this is also, I imagine, where I have some, not mannequins, but like the cloth-y mannequins and some of my most favoritist treasured pieces. The sections, too, are not just divided by clothing type, but by version of self. So it's not just like a colored shirt. No. It's like work self, dinner party self, travel self, cozy private self. And you know I have loungewear. Summer vacation self. I have somewhere important to be self. Like all these versions of myself, that's how the closet's divided. And obviously there's patterns to that, right? But there could be different collared shirts that end up in different sections because of the mood I'm going for when I wear them. I feel like a collared shirt can be very casual. It can be very vacation wear. It can also be very business. The fantasy is not just that I have more clothes. It is that the room understands the different versions of me and gives them each a place to live. I think that when I think about what gets the most space and the sections that feel most emotionally important, it really is that like work self, casual self, and the emotional weight of lifting off a lot of that decision fatigue, which is why this layout of the closet is so important to me. The work of making outfits is already partially done for you because if you know kind of what you're doing that day, you're able to go straight to that section of the closet and not have to go to a bunch of different areas to try and put an outfit together. Now we start with the clothes I would actually touch the most, the everyday wardrobe wall, because luxury is not luxury if it only works on special occasions. So this is the realistic but elevated section. I'm talking my jeans, my tanks, my trousers, my cardigans, sweaters, button-downs. Primarily my colors, dream colored closet, because I know I dunked on the capsule wardrobe earlier, but I do think if most of your stuff matches, you're just going to have an easier time overall. Cream, I love cream, white, black, brown, basics, but also navy, soft gray, the occasional pepper of green, terracotta colors. I'm a primary colors girl. I love like my deep reds, my navy blues, my better yellows, and then the occasional green, all with the neutrals. The clothes are simple, but they're high quality. The section supports things that you would do in normal life, your coffee runs, your errands, casual work days, lunches, walks, and any day where I'm having to do low-key travel. Some specific pieces: perfect straight leg jeans, white tees, black belts, simple flats, brown long sleeve tops, and a soft gray sweater. The everyday wall is where I want the clothes to feel boring in theory, but perfect in execution. Like, yes, it is just a white tank top. It might not even be a fancy brand. It could be from Target. but it is the white tank top. It fits correctly. It does not go weird after one wash, and it makes everything else that I'm wearing look awesome. Some possible outfit combinations: white tee, cream trousers, black belt, and ballet flats, brown long sleeve top, jeans, and layered gold necklaces and earrings, a black tank, wide leg jeans, and a structured bag. And then for you, what are the pieces that you would reach for constantly? And would you rather them all be together in the front of your closet, or would you rather them be organized by section? What outfit would you wear to go get coffee? What outfit makes you feel put together without trying too hard? And what colors are dominating your everyday wardrobe? From there, we move into the workwear section, which is less about dressing for an office and more about dressing like I have authority over my own life. But also, it is partially about dressing for an office. This section is polished, tailored, and quietly intimidating. Not corporate girl bossy. No office siren. We're talking about not like a fake CEO cosplay. This is calm, capable, elegant, and hard to rattle. Blazers, trousers, button-downs, long coats. I've already incorporated the long coat into my personal life. Structured bags. The fantasy is being young, but being taken seriously. Some specific pieces in this section: black tailored trousers, cream blouse, a navy blazer, a long wool coat, sleek ankle boots, and a gold watch. There's a black blazer in this closet that basically fixes my posture, and I don't know how else to explain it. You put it on and suddenly you answer emails faster. You stop apologizing before you ask questions, and you look like you know where the conference room already is because you're the one that booked it. Maybe ask yourself, in this dream version of you, what would you wear to an important meeting? What outfit makes you feel competent? And for me, I live and I can see myself being in this dream version of myself, still very tied into the corporate world. Maybe for you, your workwear is a flannel and jeans. Maybe you're out in nature. Maybe you're not even working. Maybe this isn't even a section in your wardrobe. But what piece makes you feel expensive and competent? That's the question I want you to think about. And now we get into the section that to me makes the closet feel like a fantasy instead of just a very organized wardrobe that I could have in the future. The dress archive. Dresses are getting the space that they deserve, and they are not crammed together. They are organized by mood and occasion: white dresses, black dresses, burgundy, patterned, summer. Dresses for me are an emotional shortcut. I love wearing dresses. Frankly, I hate pants. White dresses that are in a wrap style, sundress, lace or cotton, very coastal dinner, fresh, clean, graceful, and I can already feel myself in a warm, sunny place with a sunburn in a white dress, freshly showered, with the smell of sunscreen still in my nose. There are black dresses, a black maxi, a slip dress, a midi. They are elegant, controlled, and slightly dramatic in some cases. There are burgundy and brown dresses, satin, for fall dinner, a wine bar, and then pattern and playful dresses. I at least have a couple of polka dots, florals, gingham, blue and white striped for those coastal days on a sailboat, vacation, brunch, garden, farmer's market. These are all places that I would wear these dresses out. The dress section needs breathing room because dresses are dramatic by nature. They cannot be crushed between a winter coat and a random blazer. And in this dream space, they need to be able to hang there and imply that I'm at any point in time could have somewhere beautiful to go where I drop everything and just head out on my way. And to my listeners, do you have dresses in your closet? I know we probably have some non-dress wearers out there. This could be your suit section. This could be your, I don't know. I love dresses. And frankly, I'm so happy that it is, like society standards have made it easily accessible, and actually kind of loved that I wear dresses, because I do like hate pants. That's a tangent, but yes. And then on an entire glowing, radiant wall of its own, we have the shoes. This is where the fantasy becomes both practical and very unserious. So, a little fun fact about me, I actually hate shoe shopping. I get one pair of tennis shoes and I wear them for like 2 years. I do have other shoes. Since I've entered into the corporate world, I have had to buy shoes. I have some loafers and I have some heels. But frankly, I hate shoes. I shouldn't say that. I hate buying shoes. I don't know what it is, but the process of trying to find a shoe that fits well for me just feels exhausting. I'm a 9.5. I don't have particularly like large or small feet. I feel like they're like a little probably larger than average. But the point is, it's not about finding the shoe. I just hate the process. But I imagine in this rich girl fantasy, money is so a non-thing that I can just buy the shoe, and if I don't like it, then I give it away. And it just takes away the stress around shoes, because the idea of shoes, I love. So shoes are organized by type and color: flats, Mary Janes, heels, boots, sandals, sneakers, and practical shoes. The shoe section tells you what kinds of days exist in this fantasy world. I need them for coffee, work, dinner, travel, Pilates even though I'm not wearing shoes, the shoes that get me there. It's Crocs. Errands and romantic nonsense. Some specific shoes: cream ballet flats with a black bow, the black patent Mary Janes, burgundy slingbacks, black pointed heels, leather brown sandals, cream block heel sandals, blue statement heels, black ankle boots, sneakers, maybe Hoka's or Brooks or both, Pilates socks, and Crocs, because unfortunately reality remains. And I'm sorry, I know there's Croc haters out there. You can pry them away from my cold dead hands. I will be wearing them until I die, and I will wear them out in public. Sorry, not sorry. The shoe wall. Something to dwell on. The shoe wall is lit from underneath each shelf, which is objectively unnecessary and therefore very important. The flats are lined up like little characters. The heels look like they have plans today, and the boots look like they know something that I don't, but I wish to very bad. I do not want a dream wardrobe full of shoes that punish me either. Again, back to the shoe hate. I want shoes that make me feel elegant without making me silently furious by 8:45 p.m. If it's not a block heel, it's not higher than 2 inches, end of story. I'm not in the 5-inch heel club. I'm already a pretty tall girl. I hate myself sometimes. I'm already a decently tall lady. I don't need super big heels, but if I do have them, I'm not trying to break my ankle. They are blocky. And then we move to the island drawers, which might be one of my favorite parts of the entire closet, because this is where the tiny little luxuries live. As much as I am not a shoe person, I very much am a jewelry person. This is ironic for me to say now because it's not true for those of you not watching the YouTube version of this. I almost always have earrings in. I do not today. I am not wearing earrings. But most of the time, you find me with earrings in. A necklace. I'm bad at rings, but I think fantasy version of me probably has a couple of rings and has gotten so used to them that she's not pulling in them and playing with them all day, like Grace currently is. Jewelry lives in suede lined drawers. Everything has a compartment. Gold, pearls, delicate chains, watches, earrings, sunglasses, and even some high-end hair clips. These are outfit hair clips. These are not function hair clips, because I imagine the function ones probably live in the bathroom. Accessories are small and dainty for the most part, which is my preferred kind of accessory, but still powerful. And they completely change the tone of a lot of my outfits and really elevate them. Some specific pieces: pearl drop earrings, simple gold hoops, a thin gold chain, pendant necklaces, blue flower earrings, a hair claw made of gold or plated in gold, oversized sunglasses, different varieties of belts, and a silk scarf. The top drawer of the island is lined, and it has those little divided sections that make you feel like your life is more together than it is. Gold hoops are here, pearl earrings there, watches laid flat, necklaces separated so they never become one horrible tangled ball of consequences. I know I currently have one of those waiting for me in my jewelry box. Accessories are where an outfit starts whispering instead of speaking. They are not the whole sentence, but they completely change the tone of your outfit. And then for your dream closet, ask yourself now, what jewelry do you wear every day? And what pieces make an outfit feel finished? For me, I really think some classic gold hoops is my go-to when I'm trying to look more elevated, or some dangly gold earrings. I'm probably like 70-30 gold-silver split. I'm not dedicated to one or the other, but I do think gold is my preferred. And think about that for yourself too. Are you a gold, silver, pearl, or mixed metal person? And because no dream wardrobe is complete without bags, there is a section that is not enormous, but is very carefully chosen. Bags are another thing I don't particularly enjoy purchasing for myself. And unlike shoes, they can take up a lot of space. They can take up a small amount of space too for the small ones, but the big bags, which is my preferred kind of bag, I carry around a lot of stuff. They are large. So we're still gonna have some semblance of control here. Bags are displayed on shelves, not thrown into a pile. I do not need infinite bags because I have the right ones. Each bag has a roll, work bag, everyday bag, evening bag, a woven vacation bag, a casual tote, and some of them are pre-packed even. They sit on the shelves like they're waiting for their assignments. The black tote is for work and travel and days when I need to carry half a life with me. The small brown bag is for coffee, dinner, and pretending I am not the kind of person who keeps receipts loose in the bottom, even though it very much still happens. But most of the time, I don't even keep the receipt now. Obviously, I'm so wealthy and rich. For you, at home, what kind of bag is your go-to? I can tell you right now, stepping back into reality, for me, I have 3 bags. I'm just wrapping up my bachelor's degree, and so I'm still a backpack person. I have my backpack. I would consider that one of my main bags. It's just a plain black backpack from Walmart, I think. I have a black faux leather bag from Target, and it's like a big tote bag, and that's for work. And then I have a green leather, thrifted, Lucky Brand, over the shoulder, like side bag. And that's been with me since sophomore year, since COVID. She's the blueprint for all future bags. I've yet to find something like her. So yeah, what are your bags? What are you modeling them after? Do you have bags that are purely for vacation? What bag do you take to work if you are still working? And what's inside of your dream everyday bag? Now we get to the section that nobody really sees, which is exactly why it matters the most: the loungewear and the sleepwear section. This section is mostly for the private self. It's pajamas, robes, lace slips, soft socks, matching sets. The fantasy includes beauty at home. Not everything is for public consumption or perception. This is about feeling luxurious when no one else is watching. Navy silk pajama set with a pipe lining, a white robe, lace slips. I love a slip dress. Oh my gosh. Recently got into nightgowns, and not like the Scrooge nightgowns with the little cap and the lantern. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like sexy night dresses. Because I just think, again, I hate pants. It's a common theme, guys. I don't like pants. And I am able to avoid that. And it's hot here right now, so I'm not thinking about like cozy warm. I'm thinking about as much circulation of air as possible. But back to the podcast. A soft cream sweater for the winter months, cozy socks, matching pajama sets, and comfortable but beautiful house clothes. So we're still gonna have like our sweats and our tanks that are for days when we're not leaving the house, but we still want to get dressed into something. There's the navy silk pajama set that's folded in one drawer. It feels almost too elegant for a regular Tuesday night, which is exactly why I want it and why I want to wear it on a regular Tuesday night. I want the version of me who's just reading in bed or making tea or wandering around the house and hungrily looking for a piece of toast before work to still be considered. I do not want all the beauty in my wardrobe to be reserved for being seen. It's very important to me and to this fantasy that some of it needs to be for the version of me who's just existing in her own house. So when you're crafting this section of your wardrobe, what do you wear when you're not seeing anyone else? It could be, for me, I have a tried and true oversized Tom and Jerry, like XXL t-shirt that I got from Walmart when I was in my junior year of high school. And then like some shorts, some pajama shorts. And it's been with me for years because it works. And those are the things that you want to keep around and help you to stay grounded when you're thinking through these scenarios. And then once the main wardrobe is built, I think on this next layer up that spiral staircase, I think there is having clothes that let the year feel like it has chapters. So this is like the seasonal dressing. Because it makes time feel intentional. Spring, summer, fall, winter, they all have their own moods and palettes and wardrobes. This does not mean buying a whole new wardrobe every season. It means having pieces that help you feel in season. So spring, you have your white dresses, your cardigans, your ballet flats, soft blue accents, and fresh jewelry with floral inspirations and iconography to it. Florals for spring? Yes, florals for spring. Summer is linen pants, sundresses, woven bags, sandals, gold jewelry. Summer is that girl for me, and it is always where I feel the most confident, despite the crippling heat. Fall is for burgundy brown turtlenecks, long coats, boots, fun dresses with the long coats, and dark denim, bootcut dark denim. Winter is for wool coats, gray sweaters, tailored trousers, and elegant boots. I feel like I'm definitely the most business in winter, if you catch my drift. And then, for me, I already answered, but what season do you feel the most confident in? What's your favorite wardrobe? Mine is summer, but I've been told I kill in fall and winter. So, I don't know. And then, what does that say about like your personal preferences versus how people perceive you? What do you want to prioritize? And this is the point where the wardrobe becomes more than just a list of beautiful things, because eventually you do have to ask, what life am I imagining where and when I imagine these clothes? So this wardrobe implies a life. For me, there are things like coffee walks with friends, dinner reservations, work meetings, weekend trips, Pilates classes, travel days, hosting friends, being seen publicly if I'm still doing social media, having privacy, being prepared. The wardrobe is not built for a woman who is waiting for her life to start. It is built for someone who has places to go, people to meet, dinners to attend, work to do, books to read, and things to romanticize. The clothes are beautiful because I want beautiful clothes. The closet is luxurious because I want luxury. I do not think every desire needs to be morally laundered into a lesson. Sometimes it's okay just to want things. But I do think our desires are interesting. And this particular desire tells me something about the kind of life I want to feel ready for. This kind of life assumes that I'm still working. This isn't I stumbled into the lottery. This is something I built for myself. I'm dressed for speaker events and having time with friends and being by the coast. This closet makes my life easier because of the way it's organized and what I know about myself and what gives me decision fatigue. And this version of me is supported by that wardrobe. And it reveals that I do want luxurious, matching, high quality things. And it doesn't apologize for itself when it is allowed to sit in that fantasy. I also think a dream wardrobe is one of the clearest ways to understand your taste, because taste is not just what you like, it's what you keep choosing and what you keep coming back to, especially when you allow yourself to linger in this like best unrestricted version of yourself, because that is where your taste will really be highlighted. When I made the Pinterest board for this episode, it showed patterns: neutral structure, romance, polish, classic pieces with feminine details. There's a big European coastal influence, practicality with little luxuries. It's not loud, but it's also not boring. It's elegant, romantic, and controlled. My taste, at least in this fantasy, is not maximalist in the senses of color and chaos. There might be a situation where I'm supposed to go to a themed event with a specific color and I don't have the piece and I have to go out and buy something. It is maximalist in specificity. Specificity? Oh, God, I can't say that word. I'm so sorry. I've got a couple words like that. That's one of them. I want the exact right clothes, the exact right white dress, the exact right black flat, and the exact right gold earrings that pair perfectly with both of them. And with all of that, everything matches, colors match, silhouettes match, and I don't even need to think about it. To make this fantasy slightly more grounded, I want to talk about what I would actually buy first if I were slowly building toward this wardrobe instead of magically receiving it in a fully lit 2-story closet. This is kind of a practical mini section. The foundation items, what I think is most important. For me, this is things like a tailored suit, something that I told myself within the next couple years I wanted to buy. I really do think I need to expand my shoe repertoire. I keep coming back to a burgundy kitten heel and black Mary Janes. I think they're the two pieces that could elevate my wardrobe the most. And then more slip dresses. I want to be wearing them to bed every single night. And they don't even have to be expensive. I'm fine with cotton ones off of Target or Amazon. And then I need some high quality gold hoops. Most of my jewelry right now is from my high school days, from when I was working Starbucks job. I'm about to start my full-time job, so I can probably afford to do a little splurge, and they don't even have to be super nice, but just something that's not going to tarnish over time like a lot of my other jewelry pieces have. If I were building this in real life, I would not start with dramatic burgundy dinner dresses, even though emotionally that's kind of what I want and what draws me to this fantasy. I am starting with those pieces, which make normal life feel better first. So for you, what item would you immediately want to improve your real wardrobe? And what's an item that you could see yourself wearing weekly, bi-weekly, and fills the biggest gap? And then I am just going to spend a little bit of time talking you through the Pinterest board, because this one was fat. It was a fat Pinterest board. I went a little crazy. The garden episode, I think I had like 60 pins. This one, including the closet sections, I think caps out at like 200. It's pretty big. And I think that's partially just like the nature of Pinterest. So some things I'm immediately seeing. The white dresses are a super common theme. And white with pattern too. Some of them have polka dots. They're different textures. There's linen, cotton, some material with more of a shine to it. And something I didn't spend a lot of time talking about, which I imagine this is in the same section as the pajama loungewear. In this dream version of myself, I'm working out pretty regularly. I try in my current life to work out pretty regularly. But for me, like those dream workout sets are like flare leggings and a matching sports bra, like built-in top to match. And just like so many pairs of Pilates socks. And the system that supports this closet, right? Like in dream life, I am not doing my own laundry. Are you kidding? I also see a number of fun jackets. What I'm looking at here is kind of this burgundy plum leather jacket and a brown long wool coat. I really would recommend looking at the Pinterest board after or while you're listening to this episode, because I think it really helps immersing yourself in the fantasy. There's a lot of elegance and, again, that European coastal style. I see a lot of beige blazers, matching tops that are just casual enough to be in a casual space, but also formal enough to probably get away with something like a networking event, with matching exact same shade trousers and then like a thick belt. The occasional bag, but mostly it is shockingly a lot of shoes. And I think that really does say a lot about what I want and like where the gap is between this idyllic version of myself and the person I am now, is that I want shoes. I just don't want to do the work to go get the shoes. I want them to magically appear and fit me perfectly. I'm noticing a lot of like abalone and sea glass style necklaces as well. I love the texture and the look of them. 3 different colored Crocs, light blue, white, and an espresso color. White Hokas, black and white Brooks. That same pointed kitten heel in every color under the sun, including like a light brown, espresso, black, burgundy, cherry red. A cheetah print even made its way in there. Butter yellow, cute little block heel white Mary Janes with a gold buckle. There are lots of little slip dresses, a robe. Oh my God. I imagine I walk from the shower, which is on maybe the other side of the master bedroom, and there's always a fresh robe hanging in there for me. And so whenever I'm walking into this closet, it's always fresh, clean, in this robe, ready to go, primed and ready to be painted in some way in whatever that outfit I choose is. There are some maxi skirts, some short dresses as well. Jumpsuits are a common theme. I love a jumpsuit. I generally just love the ability to put on one piece of clothing and to call it an outfit. So those are some of the things that I notice and patterns I see on my Pinterest board. Go check it out for yourself. And please, please, please go make one for yourself as well. But that is my dream closet and wardrobe. The physical closet is beautiful because it is luxurious. The built-ins, the island, the lighting, the shoe wall, the jewelry, drawers, the vanity, all of that matters to me. I want the fantasy, I want the room, I want the ridiculous amount of space dedicated to getting dressed and the spiral staircase in the corner. I think what I love about this fantasy is that it gives every version of me somewhere to go. There's a version of me who's going to work and wants to feel capable. There's a version of me going to dinner who wants to feel romantic. There is a version of me walking to get coffee who wants to feel effortless. And there's a version of me just at home in pajamas who still wants to feel beautiful even if nobody's there to see it. And yes, it is about luxury. It is about wanting the beautiful thing, but I think luxury gets more interesting when it becomes specific. When it is not just more, but this exact room, this exact dress, this exact drawer, this exact morning ritual tied to it. So if you want to look through the visuals, go check out the Pinterest board again. I know I've said it like 5 times right now, but I do think it's important for the episode. I want to know what would be in your dream closet. Not the realistic answer, not the responsible answer. I'd need no, but this is unrealistic. Girl, we already know. Believe it. Live in the fantasy. I want the fantasy answer. What is the dress? What is the shoe? What is the bag? What is the piece? What is the routine? What is the thing that makes you feel like the woman you are trying to become? Thank you for spending this episode of Rich in Theory with me, and I will see you in the next fantasy. Bye.